Watching Spencer Pratt take down Gavin Newsom is the best thing on the internet right now. Gavin Newsom threw a charity event where all these celebrities came and played a concert and raised $100 million for the fire victims of LA. Problem is, none of those fire victims has seen any of the money. So, C-list celebrity Spencer Pratt went digging to find out why. Spencer and Heidi Pratt's home burned down in the fires, and they have had all kinds of trouble trying to get permits to rebuild their home.
Oh, dirty Gavin Newsom, I caught you.
So a couple days ago, I had posted about a congressman calling for the investigation of where the fire aid money had gone to. There was a fundraiser that was created and over $100 million was raised towards direct relief to the fire victims in LA. This letter was sent to Pam Bondi to ask for the investigation of where the funds went. People like Spencer Pratt, this guy has been very loud about the fact that none of the fire victims, including him and his wife, have received any funds. And he came out with a video calling out the fact that it's been...
Okay, folks, get ready for an intense journey because this story has everything. Mystery, betrayal, and a mountain of unanswered questions. First, we're diving into the explosive tale involving Gavin Newsom and his handling, or mishandling, of a staggering $100 million meant for fire victims in Los Angeles. Honestly, it's like watching a bad soap opera unravel in real time. But here's the tragedy. Instead of getting the vital help they were promised, the victims have been left out in the cold, asking, "What happened to the money?" And then enters Spencer Pratt, the reality TV star we never knew we needed in this unfolding drama.
Alright, well, I have unfortunately gone down this Spencer Pratt and Gavin Newsom rabbit hole, and I'm thoroughly entertained. For one, I think it's about time we give Spencer Pratt his flowers. The guy is a beauty. He's hilarious. I personally get a kick out of him, probably more than other people, because I have a very similar sense of humor to him. If you've seen some of my videos, I do like to post some rage bait stuff because I thoroughly enjoy seeing the reaction from people and how ballistic they go for just like things that they see on TikTok. It's just, to me, it's hilarious. But anyways, I digress. So, situation with Spencer Pratt and Gavin Newsom. Basically, there was a concert at some point after the tragic LA wildfires. About $100 million was raised, and a lot of people who unfortunately did lose their homes during that event kind of sounded the alarm on this and said, hey, we haven't seen a dime of this $100 million. Where did it go? Well, turns out the money was distributed to several different nonprofit organizations, and one of them happened to be owned and ran by yours truly, Gavin Newsom's wife. Well, an internet sleuth and Spencer Pratt kind of brought this to light. Gavin Newsom's camp is 100% denying it, but Spencer Pratt has receipts. And let me tell you, it does not look good for Gavin Newsom. I don't know if anybody knows exactly how much money he stole, but all indications are that he did steal and basically launder millions and millions of dollars that was there to help out victims of a national...
After Spencer Pratt's home was tragically destroyed by fire, he stepped into a new role, sleuth, determined to uncover the truth. His investigation led to jaw-dropping revelations, especially connections tied to charities associated with none other than Newsom's wife. Can you wrap your head around that? The internet is buzzing, social media is ablaze, and the outrage is real. Everyone wants answers. If Gavin Newsom thought this scandal would stay under wraps, Spencer Pratt just blew the lid off. If you're as curious as I am, hit that subscribe button. It keeps me motivated and makes sure you don't miss the next bombshell in the scandal. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. This entire saga started with a lavish charity gala that looked like it belonged on the big screen,
Where all these celebrities came and played a concert and raised $100 million for the fire victims of LA. Problem is, none of those fire victims has seen any of the money. So, C-list celebrity Spencer Pratt went digging to find out why. Spencer and Heidi Pratt's home burned down in the fires, and they have had all kinds of trouble trying to get permits to rebuild their home. Meanwhile, old Gavin Newsom's out here doing a land grab to build his low-income homes. So when Spencer started his digging to see exactly where this $100 million has gone, he discovered that 50 million of it had basically gone into Gavin Newsom's pocket. So now that Spencer has brought so much attention to it, an investigative journalist from Circle the News has gotten involved, and she has done her own digging on where this money has gone. She has discovered that instead of the money going directly to victims, that the money is going to several nonprofits. Some of these nonprofits are actually using the money to help victims and going to their nonprofits to provide things for victims, but many of those have zero ties to victims whatsoever. One of the nonprofits that received the largest financial grant is called Cal Volunteers. Guess who is the chair of that nonprofit? None other than Gavin Newsom's wife. So y'all go follow along, because this is so interesting that the Attorney General is getting involved to find out exactly what old Newsom is doing with the money for these victims. And anybody that exposes Gavin Newsom has my full support. Mind you, this is all alleged. I do not need some dirty Democrat coming out.
A star-studded group of celebrities gathered for an epic concert to raise funds for the wildfire victims of Los Angeles. And really, who would doubt the importance of that cause? I mean, $100 million was supposed to bring at least some comfort, right?
We only have 4 seats that are represented by black folk, where the vast majority of the people that get to decide who they have represent them are black. They decided to attack 3 of the 4 seats that we have in the state. They decided to go after a Latina. They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say, we are going to dilute minority voices. So we know that the courts, ever since we've had a Voting Rights Act, have always found. We also know that there are donors that I'm sure are going to be willing to make sure that they are investing and making sure that they can take down some of these candidates. Since they don't want to rule out dark money, I'm sure some dark money gonna pour in on the behalf of the American people. So what I am saying is every tactic, as well as making sure we're touching.
Here's where it all starts to unravel. On the surface, the concert looked like a roaring success. But behind the glitz and glamour, a troubling story began to take shape. Whispers spread. Where did all that money go? With such a massive sum, victims should have seen relief immediately. But they didn't. Instead, rumors began swirling that the funds were nowhere to be found.
I just don't take anything at a surface level on social media. I decided to go to the Fire Aid website, where it does display that a total of 75 million has been given out of the 100 million. And I clicked on round 2. It starts off with this one where it talks about how $700,000 was given for critical information for fire victims. And then when you scroll down, you do see Cal Volunteers, which is an organization that got a grant that took some of the money. I need you to pay attention to the one beneath it that says Center for Nonprofit Management. Remember that. This story started gaining more traction and more coverage started hitting this because you go to Cal Volunteer and you check out the commission. Guess who is the honorary chair? That's right, Jennifer Newsom. Guys, Gavin Newsom's wife, she is the honorary chairman of Cal Volunteer. Decided to go back to the Fire Aid website, and guess what is conveniently missing on the list of people that got grants on round 2? Remember how I told you Center for Nonprofit Management? Below that and above that was Cal Volunteer. But today on the website, if you go search round 1 and round 2, somehow Cal Volunteer disappeared from the list of people that got grants. Now what appears above Center for Nonprofit Management is California Local Conservation Corps. Yes, you can scour through that list. You're not going to find Cal Volunteer on there anymore. What are you hiding, Newscom? We already figured it out that your wife is leading one of the nonprofits that got the grant. So we already know you took the money from the fire victim. You refused to bring voter ID back to get federal funding to the fire victim. So when you're out there on the campaign trail talking about how much you care.
And here comes Spencer Pratt, the accidental detective. His wildfire experience threw him headfirst into this real-life mystery, and what he uncovered left people stunned. His discoveries drew in investigative journalists, lit up social media, and all arrows began pointing toward unsettling connections with the Newsom family. It looked like funds were being funneled into nonprofits with questionable ties. The name that kept popping up: Cal Volunteers, with Jennifer Newsom, Gavin's wife, sitting as its honorary chair. Each revelation was more shocking than the last, and soon the media frenzy went into overdrive. Outrage swept across social media as accusations piled up, and the finger of suspicion pointed directly at the Newsom household. What was meant to restore lives turned into a scandal of betrayal. Victims left abandoned. Donors questioning whether their money ever reached the people it was meant for. And the governor scrambling to contain the fallout. Spencer Pratt's revelations didn't just ruffle feathers, they triggered a full-blown crisis. Now, people are demanding an investigation, maybe even resignations. And beyond the drama, a much bigger question looms. When disaster relief money vanishes, who should be held accountable? Because one thing's clear, this story is far from over.